Can you send it to Ann?
Sure.
Who do you want me to send it to?
Ann
Oh, I got it.
Ebola.
Thank you. I got it. I can forward it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Mhm.
Okay, then we'll get started. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for Lunch and Learn. And thank you for those wearing a flannel shirt. I just want to introduce Rob and Michelle from Proven IT. They will be doing another session on our phone system. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, they're all on mute, I think. So
Okay, perfect, perfect. Just want to make sure someone could hear me. I've had headset issues in the past and I don't want to be talking with nobody hearing me. So as mentioned, my name is Michelle, Michelle Winters. I'm with Proven IT. I'm going to be running through training for your desktop telephone, setting up voicemail for those who might not have done that already, and then we're going to move into our desktop application. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. On my screen right now is a picture of the telephone that is on your desk. Hold on, it was there, and I can't believe I just did that. Hold on
yeah,
1 second for me.
I saw it, Michelle, and then it popped away.
I know because I'm crazy. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Can you see it again, Rob?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the T54W set that everyone has at your location. What we're seeing here is on our main display, you're going to see 5 keys on either side of the display, and then there's 4 keys underneath the display. The ones on the side are programmed for you already. You should see your extension number, and then I believe there are part keys. Is that correct, Rob?
Correct.
Okay, so on one side, you're going to see your extension number. You'll see a couple of appearances of your extension so that you could be on a call and take a second call to your extension. And then on the other side, you will see park keys, and I'll get into the park feature in just a little bit. Underneath the display are our soft keys. These keys change depending on what you're doing on your phone. So as your phone sits idle, you would see a directory key or a do not disturb key. But as you're connected to a caller, you will then see things like transfer, conference, and so on, things that you're actually able to do when a call is in progress. You have your basic, obviously, dial pad. To the left of the dial pad is what I call the navigation center. This is used for scrolling through when we look at call logs and things like that. Underneath there is your volume bar. To the right of the dial pad, we have some keys that are also soft keys under your display. Um, but you will be able to use either or depending on what you prefer. I am a soft key person. I'm usually looking at the display and I'm noticing the soft keys before I'm going down here and looking for a key down on this area. But what you do see down here is a headset key, a mute key, which is your microphone with a slash through it, the messages key. This is where we go in to log in and set up our voicemail. And if you're choosing to check your voicemail through your phone, this is where you would go as well. We have a mute key. We have the redial key. And then there's a transfer key down here. There's also your speakerphone key at the very bottom. So again, some of these keys will also be soft keys in your display, and it really depends on what you prefer. All right, I'm going to get into call handling. Well, let me show you one more thing. Right up here on the top is an LED light. This will light up red, indicating that you have voicemail messages in your mailbox. Outgoing calls. To make an outgoing call, we do not need to dial an 8 or 9. We can just dial the 10-digit telephone number that you're calling out to. Redialing. Down here, as I mentioned, this is a redial key right here. It kind of looks like a yin yang of arrows. If I press this button twice, it's going to automatically redial my last number called. You'll notice if you press this number or this button one time, you're going to get a call log appearing in your display. And again, you can use the navigation center to scroll up and down through your call logs, and there will be a send button that appears on your display to make a call from that call list. Incoming calls. When a call comes into your desk, you're going to see the caller ID pop up on your display. What you will also see are these soft keys under the display. You will then see a silence or a reject button. What that allows you to do then, again, silence is going to just turn the ring off. The caller will still think they're ringing you on the other end, and then they will go into voicemail. The reject button will send that caller directly into voicemail. And those will appear right here on your display as the call is ringing into your phone.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
When I hit the reject button,
Mhm.
it goes to my computer and then goes to my cell phone. So if I'm in my office and I'm busy and I can't take the call, reject doesn't just get rid of the call. It continues ringing over and over
Oh,
and over again.
because you're using the mobile app as well.
I don't know why it happens. It's
Do you
that's
have
my
the?
dilemma.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she's got the Elevate app, Michelle, probably.
okay, Rob, can you note that? And we'll have to take a look at that. And what user was this? I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the user list right now. I'm just seeing my.
Yeah, what's your name?
Lillian Novak.
Okay, it might be just needed to set up your correct settings on the Elevate app, but she'll be going through that shortly.
Okay. When you're on a call, if you need to place that caller on hold, you have a hold key, soft key on your display. To get that caller back, you would just press the line key. Once you hit the hold key, your caller will be flashing on one of your lines. To get that caller back, you just press the line that is holding. Call Park. Park is a feature that allows you to place a call on hold that you can retrieve from any phone in the office. So if you place a call on hold using your hold button, that call is holding to your physical device. You have to come back to your device to get that call off hold. If I place that in Park, I can walk to any phone in the office and press the Park key that that call is sitting on and retrieve that call. So the way I do that is when I'm on with my caller, there will be a more soft key on your display. So there are 4 soft keys on the bottom of your display, but there are more than 4 features available to you. So your last button will say more, which will bring you to a second screen of soft keys. When you hit the more button, you will then see a park button. When you press that park key, you're going to hear in your handset the call is parked on and it's going to give you an extension, but it's more importantly going to jump that call over to one of your park buttons on the right side of your display. And you can hang up the phone. And you will see that Park 1, it's always going to start with the top free park zone. So if you have Park 1, 2, and 3, it's always going to try Park 1 first. The call will jump over to Park 1 and you will see Park 1 lit up. Park 1 will be lit up on every phone in the office. To retrieve that call, you walk over to any phone, press that Park button, and you will retrieve that call. It's important to note that with Call Park, that call is not going to sit out there forever. There is a default timer set. I believe it is set to 30 seconds. We can check on that for you to see what your park is set at. But after that allotted amount of time, that call is going to ring back to the phone that placed it in park. The reason for that is so that someone isn't placed in park and then someone, is forgotten about and they just hang out there until they hang up. So again, if you leave that call on park for too long, it is going to ring back to you on your phone. Transferring a call, there are multiple ways you can transfer a call. We have what's called a blind transfer, which means I'm just transferring this to another extension and it's just going to ring through and that person's going to get that call immediately. The other way to transfer is to do a warm transfer, which means I'm transferring to Rob, but I'm also letting Rob know who's on the phone first. So to do what's called a blind transfer, while I'm on with my caller, I will see a transfer soft key in my display, or I could use the transfer key on the bottom area of my phone. I hit the transfer key, I dial the extension number, and I hang up the phone. And that call is going to go and start ringing on Rob's phone. If I want to announce that caller first, while I have my caller on, I hit the transfer key, I enter Rob's extension, and then I wait for Rob to answer. Once I tell him, hi, it's John Smith on the phone for you, once I hang up, the transfer is going to go through. If for whatever reason you need to cancel that transfer. If Rob says I'm not able to take the call right now, or if Rob just doesn't answer, one of the soft keys on my display while I'm transferring that call will say cancel. I can hit the cancel key, and then one of my soft keys will say resume, and that means I'm resuming back to my original caller. If I need to transfer a caller to voicemail, I will use the transfer key. I dial star plus their extension number, and I hang up the phone. So if Rob's extension is 123, I would hit the transfer key, star 123, and I hang up the phone. That caller is going to go directly into Rob's voicemail. There is a feature on the system that allows you to pick up a call ringing at another phone. I'm not quite sure if internally this is something you guys would use, but if it is, if I hear my phone ringing, if I'm standing at someone else's desk and I've walked away from my desk, but I hear my phone ringing, I can lift up the handset near me, dial star 95 plus my extension number, and then pound, and the call will move from my phone to the phone that I've picked up on. So again, if my extension is 123, I would lift up the handset, dial star 123 pound, and the call will jump over to the phone that I'm on. Okay, I'm pausing in between just in case anybody has questions.
I'm sorry, did you say when you're transferring into somebody's voicemail, you
Mhm.
do star plus the extension and then pound, or just star plus the extension and hang up?
You do the transfer key, star plus the extension, and then hang up the phone.
Okay, so transfer key. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Conference calling. From your device, we can make a 3-party conference call. As I go into the desktop app, I'll show you how to make more of a Teams type call, a Zoom type call on there. But from the physical device, if you wanted to make a conference call, you dial your first party. When you're connected to them, you will see one of the soft keys in your display will say conference. You press the conference key, and you're going to hear dial tone. You dial your second party. It could be an internal extension or an external number. When that person answers, you hit the conference key to join everybody. So it's dial your first party, hit the conference button, dial your second party, hit the conference button. Once your conference is going, you will notice on your display that you have a manage key. The manage key will allow you to, if you press that manage key while you're on the conference call, your screen is then going to show you your 2 callers that are on your conference call with you. It allows you to highlight a caller, and you can do things like you can mute them or you can hang up on them. So if someone's giving a lot of feedback, they're in a car, they're outside, they're in a restaurant, and they haven't muted themselves, you can mute them through this port through the display.
Is the conference calling just for adding one additional person?
2, it's a 3-party conference call. Yes, so one
And
additional person
that's the
on the
most
phone.
you can
Yeah,
add? Okay.
from the phone. Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
on a conference call, if you dialed the first party, once you
Mhm.
get them, then you could conference it. If you're on a call and that call came to you and you were not the one who dialed, can you conference it?
Yes.
Okay, same.
So if someone called me, and if you called me, I could then conference in someone else in the office. Yes.
Okay, it works the same way as
Yeah, it doesn't
if
matter if
dialed.
you made the call out or the call came into you. Correct.
Okay.
Another thing you can do when you're on that conference call, you'll notice if you if you press the more soft key, you will have a button that says split. If you press split, what's going to happen is going to take that 3-party conference call and put it back into 2 separate calls. So I'm on a 3-party conference call with Rob and John. If I hit that split key, Rob and John are going to jump up to my 2 line keys on hold. So now they're back broken off into 2 separate calls again. So it's kind of a nice feature if you have a conference call and then you're like, okay, thanks for everybody's input. I'm going to, separate you guys and we'll talk individually. You can do that. All right. Voicemail. I'm not sure if everybody has already set up their voicemail, but to set up your voicemail on the system, you're going to hit the button right here that I'm circling that looks like the envelope key. Once you press that, the system's going to come on and a tutorial is going to start and it's going to ask you for your PIN code. Everybody's PIN code, I believe, Rob, it was 1234. Is that correct? The first time you log into the system?
That's correct.
Okay, so it'll ask you for your PIN code. You enter 1234 followed by the pound key. The system will then say, press 3 for personal options. You press 3 and the system will say to record your greeting, press 1. To change your PIN number, press 2. Once your voicemail is set up, well, the system will still take messages for you even if you have not set up your voicemail, but your callers will hear like a canned greeting that says the person at extension 123 is not available. So you can go in and record your personal greeting. Your messages are going to be sent to your personal voicemail or your personal email. I'm sorry. It will be attached as a WAV file to an email. You can also retrieve your messages through the physical phone by pressing the messages key, entering your PIN number, and then the system will start playing your messages for you that way. There are multiple ways to retrieve your messages. You can also retrieve them by going into our desktop application as well. Are there any questions about basic phone usage before I move into the desktop application? Not yet? Okay. One moment while I pull up my desktop app real quick.
I have one question.
Yes.
So some of the, I'll call them public phones, they're not assigned to anybody, but they're throughout the office, and periodically they have messages, and I've tried the 1234. Is that something we can control internally by changing those passwords?
Yes, we should be able to go in and change those passwords. If someone there is an admin, they should be able to do that as well. Rob, are those phones set up with voicemail boxes? Should we just turn those off? You don't want those to get voicemails, is that correct? Because they're just public phones, nobody's monitoring those phones?
Correct.
Okay. Rob, do you have a list of what those phones are? Rob? You're muted. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was talking. And
Uh-huh.
I could, if you tell me what they were, I don't know what phones they are, but Carrie can reset anybody's password if you ever forget it. If he's not around, you can send a ticket to myself and I'll help you out.
I think we're talking about though making sure that those public phones don't have voicemail on them.
Yeah, I don't know which one was assigned as public. You're just gonna have to give me extensions and I'll have to take a look at it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to go into our desktop app. This application allows you to make and receive calls. You can check your voicemails. You can send chat messages. It works very similar to like a Teams. We have a conference bridge that is similar to like a Zoom or a Teams type bridge as well. So I'm going to go through that with you now. So logging in to our desktop app, you're going to see the tab along the side is what I'm going to go through today. I'm going to go from the bottom up. This is my calling tab. This is where I can see all of the users on the Elevate platform. I can bring up my personal contacts as well. I can bring everybody in. I usually do it by Elevate users, but you can do what you choose. I'll come back to this, but this is our calling tab. The voicemail tab allows you to view your voicemails. As I mentioned, you can get them on the physical phone. You're going to get them through email, and then you can also get them through this tab on the desktop app as well, and on your mobile app. So here on the voicemail, I'm seeing all of my voicemails. When I click on one of my voicemail, I can see it's going to be the transcription is off to the side. Sometimes the transcription is a little wonky if the system doesn't understand what the person is saying. So, you will see some typos. That's pretty normal in any transcriptions, but I can also play my voicemails here as well. And I can call my user back, or I can SMS text them. Moving up, here's my call history. Again, as I mentioned, your call history is also going to show for you on your display of your phone, but I prefer coming to this call history because I can scroll through here easily. I can, again, call that person back. File sharing, I'm going to skip over for right now. I'm not sure that you got, I don't think we did this in the first training either. But this is somewhere where you can, share files internally on your system. The next tab is meetings, which I'll come back to, but this is where we can set up those Teams or Zoom type meetings on our platform. And then the final is messaging. This is kind of like a Teams chat. If you guys are familiar with that, I can find people in my organization. And Rob, I know you're right there, but I can search Rob's name. I can highlight Rob and we can chat right here. I don't know if you're logged in, Rob, but there you go. Again, from here, I can call Rob, or I can set up a meeting right now with Rob where we can do screen sharing. We can, it's like a Teams or a Zoom if you're familiar with that, but I can do that right through this platform here. Going down to the calling tab. This is very helpful for users who may work from home or work, remotely from wherever. You have the ability to act as if you are in the office. So here's my calling tab. I can see all of the users in my office. I can call from here. If a user is not in my contacts, I simply click over here, put in the telephone number that I want to call, and hit send down here. Once I'm connected to a caller, and because we're doing this through Teams, and I can't actually make a call right now without cutting you guys off, what I have done is pulled up like a document showing you what the screens look like. So once I make my phone call, okay, I've dialed over here and I've hit the send, or I've highlighted over a name and I've clicked the phone icon. Once that call is in progress, I am going to see a call tab on the top of my display. This is my current call right here. And what I'm going to go through are the different tabs. So when I'm on my call, across the top, here's a closer up view of what you're going to see. I have a mute key. I have a hold button. I have an internal dial pad. I'll get to that in a second. I have a flip key, which allows me to flip that call. If I make a call from my desktop app, but now I want to take it on my desk phone or my mobile app, I can hit this flip key and my other devices are going to start ringing and I can pick up the call there. So if I've made a call from my mobile app and now I'm back in the office and I want to take it on my desk phone, I can do the same. From my mobile app, I'll see that flip button and I can hit that and my other devices will start ringing. So it's kind of a nice feature to be able to move your call from one device to the other. This is the parked feature. So even though I don't have a physical device with that park key on it, as I mentioned when we were talking about the phones, when I hit the park button on my physical device, the handset tells me what extension that call is parked on. On your physical phone, that extension was placed on a button for you that lights up on all the phones, but it's also using an extension number, if that makes sense. So when I hit the park key here, it's going to tell me your call is parked on extension 9980. And that means anyone in the building can then dial 9980 and pick up that call. In the physical office, we're using just a speed dial key on your phones for those extensions, so that's why you can see them on buttons. This is the transfer key, allows me to transfer to another user. We'll get into that in a moment. And this is my add key, which allows me to conference people in, and then we have the hang up. Let me go through a little bit more here. Again, we went through, that's the hold. The internal keypad, so if I make a call out and I reach a business that's gets me to an automated attendant that says, thank you for calling ABC Company. Press 1 for customer service. While I'm in that call, I'm going to use this keypad here. I am not going to use the keypad over here because this was my external. Once I'm in the call, I'm using the call keypad here. So that's all that this is. The park, as I mentioned, when I do hit that park key, which is right here, if I needed to park a call, again, I don't know how much you would be using this from the desktop app if you were remote, but if I do park a call, it's going to show me the call is parked on 9981. And then I could call an internal person and say, hey, you've got a call parked on 9981 or whatever the case may be. Transfer. Here's the big one that you're probably going to use. So when you're connected to a caller, if you wanted to transfer to someone internally, you would hit that transfer key. And then you're going to see if I hover over someone's name, it's going to give me some options. So I've hit the transfer key and now I come down to my contacts list and I find my contact and I can click this button or a blind transfer, this one right here, which again is the one where it just transfers through. I can also choose a warm transfer. If I hover over this icon right here, it's going to say warm transfer, just like this says blind transfer. It'll say warm transfer. That means I'm calling Aaron and telling him John Smith is on the phone for you. And if I hover over this real icon, it's going to say transfer to voicemail. So once I select my transfer button up top, I have 3 different options to transfer to Aaron Smith. I can blind transfer, I can announce or warm transfer, or I can transfer that caller to his voicemail. For conferencing, when I've connected to my caller, this is my conference button. So I press this conference key. I'm going to then highlight if I want to conference in Aaron Smith. Again, I would click on Aaron's name and Aaron would merge in with the call. I'm going to move into our meetings tab. So here's the meetings icon right here. It kind of looks like a camera. The meetings platform is very similar to Teams, Zoom, and other meeting platforms you may have used. On my meetings tab here, you're going to see this is my personal meeting URL right in this area right here. So it says gomeet.com/, and then you're going to have a bunch of letters and numbers. You can edit your meeting URL, excuse me, to make it an easier one to remember by clicking that little edit icon. And at this point, I can go ahead and back up all the way to the / after meet.com / and I can put in anything I want here. I have made mine Proven IT with my initials. You can make yours anything you want. And then this is your joined by phone meeting and your PIN. If you would like to schedule a meeting, you can simply come in here, copy your information, and then plug it into a meeting invite. You can also come right here and send via email. Once I click here, it's popping all of my information up in an email ready to go for me. In the future, we are waiting for them to add another button that says schedule a meeting that kind of takes what I just showed you with putting it in your calendar and does that for you. So you don't have to just copy your information and then go open a calendar invite. It will do that for you. It's not out yet, but it is on their list. They're supposed to be working on that button coming out. Your meetings can have, Rob, what was the number, 100 users? I think
You
it's
mean the
100.
max? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's 100 users with 75 speaking.
Okay. So there's quite a bit of people that can be dialed into this meeting for you. One of the good things on our platform here is the people do not need to use the Elevate platform. They don't need to download anything to join your meeting. They're just going to click on that URL. So sometimes with Teams, you have to download Teams first and Zoom and things like that. They're just going to be able to click on this URL and join your meeting. Your meeting is going to be very similar to this one where you can share, you can do all of the things you can on a Zoom. You can share, you can record your meetings. Obviously there's a camera, or you could just dial in if you don't want to be, on the laptop. You can also just dial in by phone.
Oh, okay. So, for the URL, if they're gonna do it, there's no access code or anything like that. There's no, person that's the admin, right?
What do you mean? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what you mean by admin.
I mean, if you send this out, then everybody can get onto it the same way. They don't, no one, there's no waiting. You don't set up like any kind of security as far as the passcode or anything like
well,
that,
there is a
right?
PIN that they do have to put in this PIN number, if you can see what I'm showing right now. So they have
Okay.
the meeting URL, or they could
Okay.
join by phone, and then they're going to have to put this PIN number in.
Okay. And when you're doing the conference call, if you're just doing the call, which I do all the time, is that the same? You could have about the same amount of people as you can if you're using the URL?
I do
Yes.
believe that's correct, yes.
Okay.
When you record your meeting, where are the files saved on your laptop?
The recordings are in the platform. I believe it also might send you the recording. Let me look at that and I'll get that answer. Who is that asking that question?
My name is Linda.
Hi, Linda. Let
Hi.
me get that. Let me, sorry, I'm looking at my screen instead of the meeting screen. Let me get you an answer on how exactly you retrieve those recorded.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Okay, so Linda, I have okay, so I'll get you those instructions and I'll get that out. I'll get that to Rob and then he can send it to the contact so everybody's got it. Okay, again, the last tab up here is messages. So this is, I can SMS, I can text message. If you're someone that deals with clients and sometimes, today everybody likes texting, right? But you don't always like to give out your personal cell phone. If you go in through this application, you can actually text with people, but it's going to share your office telephone number instead of, your personal telephone number. So here, you could also use it. It's mainly used a lot of times for internal chat as well. So here I can put in anyone's name. It's going to bring up the folks in my office. I can click on Danny here, and these were just tests that we did with each other. But we can chat back and forth here. This is a really nice feature. I don't know if you guys use anything like this currently, but it is very handy when you just need a quick answer and you don't want to go through emailing for it. I can highlight a name, hit SMS, or I can just chat here. Rob, are they using the mobile app as well?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody is, but I'm pretty sure
Okay.
a lot of them, especially the out of town people, are.
Okay. So those with the mobile app, I think Rob sent out the instructions on downloading the mobile app. You just go to your app store and you search for Elevate UC. It will have this icon on it up here that I'm circling, these two blue arrows. If you install that on your mobile phone, you are going to use the username is your email address, your work email, and the password Rob has sent out. I believe it's password1 with a capital P.
Correct.
Okay, you're going to load that on your mobile phone and you're going to notice, I always do the desktop training because once you have this, the mobile application is the same. So it looks just like this. These tabs may be along the bottom of your screen, but all of these same features are available to you on your cell phone. So making a call to a customer, if you do that through the Elevate app, it's showing your work number. The same with texting. You can go into your Elevate app, pull up the messaging tab, and text with clients without giving out your personal cell phone information.
I just wanted to note that you cannot send big files texting through Elevate. If you want to send like a big word document or something, you're not going to be able to do that. It's got to be texting characters only. You can send small, file like a smiley face or something, but it's really small. So I don't even recommend doing that. But I just want to let you know that you can't send files.
Okay. I think that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions other than the ones that were raised already?
It's
I
Linda
suggest-
again. We're
Hi, Linda.
noticing in this messaging image, we just were told you can't send, it's only texting only, but there is an attachment. You can't do that.
Yes, this is the desktop app, though. I think Rob's talking about
Oh,
on
sorry
your
about the
mobile
mobile.
phone. Yes,
Okay,
yes. He was
thank you.
talking limited to, no problem, Linda. Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was for the mobile app. What I do suggest, if you're not familiar with the desktop app, is to make a couple calls internally. Do some things, test with your cell phone until you know, you're comfortable. And then you might notice that you start using it a little bit more and more. I work from home remotely, probably 1 day a week, maybe two sometimes, depending. And this has been amazing to be able to still get my calls, still make calls, still be able to transfer to people back at the office as if I'm sitting in the office. So it really is a great feature. The mobile application is wonderful for folks who um, are out of the office a lot. I mean, you can be anywhere and get your work calls, and you can transfer back to people. Checking your voicemails and just call history and things like that is really a game changer here when you start getting used to this app. It is sometimes it can be intimidating if you haven't used anything like this before, but I suggest again use your desk phone, but open this up while you're at your desk and check your voicemails through here, check your call history, make a few phone calls just to test it out. And once you get warmed up to it, it really is a great application.
Yeah, and
Okay.
just wanted to add on that. If you want to change your settings in your Elevate app, you just click on your picture, or if you don't have a picture set up, the bottom left of your Elevate app.
So he's talking about this settings down here, brings
Yeah.
you to your settings. I'm not quite sure what you'd set on the desktop so much, but on the mobile app, you are able to change your ringtone so that you know that your personal, everybody knows their personal ringtone. But it's nice to have a separate ringtone for Elevate so that if your phone is in your pocket or your bag, you know by the ring if that's a work call or your personal cell phone calling.
Yeah.
Michelle and Rob, back to SMS text messaging. And Linda pointed out that on the screen there is an attachment shown, but Rob said you can't do it on mobile. I had an instance where I was using the desktop and the file didn't come through. I think I talked with Rob about this at the time. Has that changed? Are we now able to do files with
There's a
desktop?
limitation to what you can receive. So
Okay.
that's why I said like large files are not recommended
Well,
to send.
we can find out what that size is for you. Who is that asked the question?
Jim Hugo.
Hi, Jim. I'm going to
Hi.
find out the size restriction on the desktop and the mobile for you.
Okay, but on mobile, you can have an app, an attachment because you said that icon doesn't appear on the mobile app. I thought mobile, not at all. Desktop, possibly.
There's limitations on the mobile even. So like I know I was able to send a smiley picture to someone for a test, but if I had a bigger file, it wasn't allowing me. They never received it.
And that was in mobile?
Yes.
Okay, but on desktop, it might be a bigger size availability?
Yeah, we'll check on the size of that.
I'm
Okay.
going to get you the size for both of those because you should still be able to send something on mobile. I'll get on the phone with Intermedia and find out what those restrictions are.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So I have the where the recorded meetings go and then the size restrictions for the attachments on the mobile and desktop.
Can you tell me again where you go to change your ringtone?
On your mobile app?
Yeah.
Okay. You should be able to go into that settings icon on your mobile app,
Okay.
and then I'm an Android user. I'm sure you're an iPhone user, right?
Yes.
I'm one of the few, I know. So you should go into call settings.
Yeah, you go to settings, sounds and appendix or something, whatever that is. And then you'll
All
see
settings. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So then you hit sounds. And
I
then, I don't know if you can see it on your phone, but after you hit sounds, there's a ringtone section and you can change it.
Yeah, I'm on call settings. It doesn't give me sounds.
Oh, you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine. You hit settings
Yes.
from your, and then you go down. It's right under notifications. It says sounds. You don't see that?
No, I'll have to play around. I don't have that.
Yeah, I'm looking
And
at
who,
mine.
wait, who is this? Who is this talking?
Leslie Harrison.
Leslie. All right, we'll call you off to the side,
Okay.
and work through that with you. Okay, perfect.
How do you
Leslie?
do it on an Android?
Okay, so if you have an Android, if you go to the settings tab, which is like the little
Right.
little icon, okay, scroll down to call settings. Do you see call settings? It should say like available, status message, online meeting, share sync, and then it'll say call settings.
No, I have on my phone. Where did it go? Sounds and vibration.
From your main screen, do you see, like on the main screen when you hit settings,
Right.
and you're seeing your icon with your name, and then underneath it says available, right?
Nope.
See,
It
that's
should.
funny you're saying this because what you're saying is what I'm seeing on the iPhone.
Okay,
Well,
I
in
haven't.
my app, I'm
Yeah.
an Android user, and I'm seeing what Michelle is saying is on her Android.
Okay, and okay, so you're another Android is seeing what I'm seeing. It might just be the
Yes.
version of your phone, I'm wondering.
I have a
Yeah.
Samsung, the latest version of the Samsung phone.
That's what I have too. I have a 22
Okay.
Ultra here. So when I hit the settings, I'm seeing very similar to what is showing on my desktop right now. I'm seeing my picture, but then it says available, status message, online meeting, share sync. And then it says call settings underneath.
Nope, nothing even close to that.
Well, if you go into settings and there's a search bar, maybe you can type in just the word sounds. I'm not sure if that would work, but
You know what? Dorian has the latest iPhone, and she hit on her picture to get to the settings.
That's
Is
correct.
it? Yeah, that's the only way to get there.
Right.
Yes.
That's what, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, when I was on my iPhone, I was able to type in the search bar sounds and it came right up. So you might want to hit settings and then type in the word sounds. See if that
I
works.
can get to sound. It's just not how she's telling me to get there. And then I have a,
like you said,
Okay.
it could be different versions.
So when you go to sounds, are you seeing anything that says ringtone?
yeah.
Okay, that's where you're going to go. If you
But
click
how
on
does it know?
ringtone,
It doesn't, how do you know, how do you add the second one though?
the ringtone that you're adding right now is within the Elevate product. And so you're changing the ringtone for the Elevate product right now. You're not changing your ringtone on your basic phone.
All right.
Is that what you mean by the second one?
No, I'm completely lost. I'm supposed to be doing this through the Elevate app?
Yeah,
Yes,
on your
ma'am.
phone.
Yes, ma'am. So in the
Oh.
Elevate app on your mobile phone,
I don't have a settings. No settings.
are you in the Elevate app?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're in the app, which tab are you on right now? Are you on the messages tab or the meetings tab or the calls tab? on the top of your tab, you should see an icon with your own picture on
Wait,
it.
someone's helping me. Hold on.
Oh, okay, okay.
Your picture comes up and then it shows.
Okay,
Yep,
got
it
it.
says call settings.
Got it.
When I go
Okay.
into call settings on my iPhone, hi, I'm Duran, by the way, sorry about that. I don't have an option to choose a ring tone. I have caller ID, switch to carrier, emergency service address, call forwarding, and use TLS. Those are the only things I have offered to me.
You have
Inside
to go
the-
in through the Elevate app settings, not your phone settings.
Right, so you want to be inside the Elevate app. From your mobile phone, you have to
Yes.
click on the Elevate app.
Yep.
And then go into the settings of the Elevate app. So you're going to click on that icon with your picture on it.
Yes.
And you're using an iPhone?
Yes.
Okay, and when you click on your picture,
Yes.
what are you seeing?
I get online meeting, share sync, sync contacts, silent mode, mobile assistant, call settings,
Go to call
voicemail.
setting. Okay, is it under call settings, Rob? I don't have an iPhone.
No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I see
All
it.
right. Then I hit call settings. And again, I have, all it says is caller ID, switch to carrier, emergency service address, call forwarding, or use TLS.
Scroll down a little more, Doran.
There is no other scrolling,
There's nothing to scroll
I
to.
got the same thing as Duran
when
has.
on
I do
my
too.
Yeah, I get the same thing.
when I scroll, I get ringtone option.
Do you have an iPhone?
Android.
That's why.
Okay.
This is Rochelle. I have an iPhone also, and I'm getting the same thing as Duran.
Same thing here. I'm Will.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
this is
Rich.
Jim, sorry.
Rob, can you
Yeah.
jump in? You have an iPhone, I don't.
Yeah, I think you can only change the ringtone on your cell phone, and whether it's a personal or Elevate, it's going to be the same ringtone.
No, you changed a different, there's a different ringtone you can do for Elevate versus your mobile.
Oh, I don't see it on mine either.
I'm going to get
look
you,
into it.
all right, I'm going to get you guys the instructions on doing it on an iPhone.
Thank you.
Rob, I thought that's what you were telling us, what you were doing before. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, because there is a way. And I'm sorry, I'm one of the few Android users out here. But I will send you those instructions as well.
Neil,
not
here, I
alone.
have a question about the
Can you send
mobile
that to everybody?
app.
She'll send it to me and I'll send it off to everybody.
Yes, everybody will get a copy of anything I'm sending out. I'm sorry, go ahead with your question.
Okay. Hi there, Neil here, and I'm I'm one of the mobile app users, and what I observed when I started using the program was I usually like to use wireless earbuds. So I have I use the Elevate mobile app, calls are forwarded to my personal device, but I work through the Elevate app. And if I use a Bluetooth connected earbud or earpiece, oftentimes most of the time when a call is coming in, I've experienced multiple drops right as I'm trying to connect. Now, for some reason, I wanted to resolve the issue, and I wanted to, not have to hold my phone to my ear. So I returned to using a wired earbud, and that resolved the problem. Are you aware of the issue with Bluetooth?
We do have,
devices?
there is a list of confirmed Bluetooth devices that work as headsets, and we'll send those out to you guys.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Neil, I have the same issue as well, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and since I've been using the wired, connection with my phone, the issue seems to be resolved, but I would rather,
Yes, you'd rather be
my
wireless
Bluetooth.
for sure. Yeah. Rob, you should have a list of those confirmed
Yeah, I'll send those
compatible
out.
headsets. Okay, we'll do it in one email and just send you everything, so you're not pummeled by a 1,000 different emails coming at you.
Great,
but we'll get you that confirmed headset list as well. It will also have, headsets for those who use the desk phone and want a headset and that kind of thing. So those will all be on there.
Perfect. Yeah, I know in conversations I've had with other credit reporting team members of mine, other credit solutions consultants here, they've had the same issue as well.
Okay.
Can I ask, is there a way to record more than one voicemail greeting? Or just one?
At this time, there is one greeting, but that is on their list to get like an out of office greeting, a secondary greeting, I believe is on the radar. We have brought that up too, that it would be helpful to be able to switch between like an away greeting and an in greeting.
Okay.
But at this time, there's one.
And also, is there a way, in our old system, we had a way to press 0 for the operator and it would go to the hunt club after, if someone calls me and I'm not here. Is there any way to do that on this system? Is have someone who's in your voicemail to press something to go
Yes.
to some, okay.
Yes, and we can get that information. Are you saying that yours would go somewhere different, or do you want everyone's to go to the same 0 out?
I guess we just had an option. If you wanted to talk to somebody right now, you can hit 0 and go to somebody live.
Yes, Rob, we can do that in the operator transfer portion
Yeah.
of their phone. And so if you can send us or send to Rob who you want your 0 out to go to, we can program that for you.
Okay.
I can look at who's that talking. I can look what I have it set up as.
Themis, Themis. I'm not sure if Carrie has the information.
Hey Rob, this is Carrie. Didn't we do that a month or two ago?
Yeah, let me look. Themis Velias, is that the name?
Vlahos, yes.
Okay, let me see what I got it set up as.
I think we already set it up, but you can check.
Yeah.
Great. And then Carrie, I was going to ask you about our fax numbers. Are we going to have fax numbers, or is that? I think we have new ones possibly.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, I got you 0 out to 4,800. Is that the main number?
It's gonna be 6,400.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's the main Rolling Meadows number. That's where it goes.
Oh, so if someone goes to my voicemail and hits 0, it goes to the main number?
Correct.
Great. Okay, that's great.
And then you can just record your greeting to let them know, to reach someone that are, if for further assistance or to try and reach someone, dial 0 now.
Perfect.
I know a lot of people automatically do that just to see if they can get with someone else. But if you don't, sometimes they need to be told in your greeting that that's an option as well.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I know when people call, when the phone rings on my phone, and then it rings on my cell at the same time, and it just keeps ringing on my cell phone, even though I answered the phone in my office. I was hoping it would stop ringing on my cell phone when I pick it up on my real phone. So.
Oh, you're saying it continues to ring a couple of times on your cell?
Right.
Rob and I have worked on that. Mine has stopped doing it. Is yours still doing it?
Yes.
All right.
Mine is as well. This is Duran. It still rings on my cell, even after I've answered the call on the desk phone.
Okay.
And just that brings up a point though, too, for those who don't want that to happen, like if you're, on the weekend or some people are walking into a customer appointment, they just want to silence that Elevate app. Under your settings, there is a call silence option as well. Silent mode is what my Android, the old Android person here, when I go into settings, if I scroll down, there is a silent mode that I can turn on and off that people find useful too. If you're in the office all day and you just don't want your cell phone ringing when your desk phone rings, you can hit that silent mode on.
Okay, wait a second. I see that on the iPhone where you can enable silent mode. Does that mean then your iPhone won't ring? Is that what you're saying? Or
I'm saying
it'll
the
just-
Elevate calls to your Elevate app won't ring if within the Elevate app you put the silent mode on.
Okay.
So you want your personal calls, so it's a weekend or you go on vacation and you don't want the Elevate app ringing you while you're on vacation, you can go into the Elevate app and put the silent mode on.
Got it.
Okay. So we have a list of a couple things to get to you guys. Other than that, that's all I have for today.
Just want to say thank you so much, Rob and Michelle. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Oh,
And
you're
thank
welcome.
you all for
and you do the same.
participating as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll send
Have
you
a
out
good
the
day.
information to Carrie and T. Lynn. I'll send it to you guys and you can forward it off.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.